Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. In today's video, we're talking about how to get your bird out of the cage. Now, a lot of people have trouble getting their birds in the cage, and my partner David, the parrot teacher, has a great video on that. But if you're struggling to get your bird out of the cage, here are some reasons why it might be happening and also some techniques to get your bird out voluntarily. Now, the most common reason why birds don't want to come out of the cage is because they're scared. There's a lot of fear. There may even be past trauma if you have a rescue. And when a bird first comes home, it's completely different surroundings, different stimuli, lots going on, and it's quite intimidating. So they may feel like the cage is what's familiar to them, it's a safe space, and they don't really want to venture out until they feel comfortable to. The trauma side of things could come from their rescue background. We don't always know what our birds have gone through before they come to us. And again, they may just feel like they want to be away from people to start off with because they're not comfortable, because they don't trust people yet. Speaking of trust, if your bird has come home recently or they've been home for a while but they haven't really wanted to come out of the cage, it may be that they just don't trust you yet. And that's not a reflection on you. It's just a case of building on that trust and doing active bonding work as well to make sure that they know that you're an awesome human being, you have lots of tasty treats for them to enjoy, and it's okay to come out. There could also be a situation where there's a break in trust. Maybe you've had to take your bird to the vet and now they're a bit unsure of you. Maybe something has changed in the environment and they're quite scared of it. So that's something to bear in mind as well. And the other reason why birds sometimes don't want to come out of the cage, most commonly, is because they're territorial, usually linked with hormonal behaviour. And again, we want to be managing hormones as much as possible, so that's not happening. And we want to be changing up the cage space regularly when our birds are confident with that to reduce territorial behaviour. But they are quite common reasons why birds don't want to come out of the cage. Birds do need to come out of the cage every single day for a good set period of time so they can interact with you, so they can exercise, so they can problem solve and do lots of awesome things and just enjoy being part of your family. So we do need to be making sure that we are working on having our birds coming out of the cage, but we're also going at their own pace. Now, the first good technique for getting a bird out of the cage is having a door perch. That's a perch on the inside of a door of the cage. Dave likes to call it a peeking perch, registered trademark, but a peeking perch or a door perch is really great because it gives your bird ease of access out of that cage. Sometimes if it's hard to come out of the cage without just kind of flying out like crazy, birds can be a little bit intimidated, not quite sure what to do. So if we can make it easy for them to want to come out of the cage, then that's awesome. So have a door perch and make it easy for your bird to come in and out as they please. You can also use target training to encourage your bird out. Again, if they know the concept of target training, which you can train through the cage bars, you can then ask them. All you have to do is touch this target to come out of the cage and again build up their confidence. Now, some birds won't want to come completely out the first time, so you may want to just target them around the door and make that a really awesome place to be, and then you can encourage them out of the cage as well. But target training has lots of applications, and this is just another one of them. Now, if your bird doesn't know you very well, or you've had a break in trust, or something else has happened where they're a little bit nervous, there's another technique that we actually encouraged one of our Discord members, who's also a YouTube channel member, to do recently. And that is, once you open the door of the cage, if you go lower and ask your bird to come to you by having your hand higher, that's a little bit less intimidating. Now, if you're kind of looming over them, I mean, I wouldn't because I'm pretty short, to be honest, but if you're quite a tall person or average height and you're kind of standing in front of your bird, you may be a lot taller than them, and that might be kind of scary and they may not want to come to you. But if you go a little bit lower, come to their level, that's less intimidating, and they may be more likely to come to you because they can kind of see what's going on better. Now, when you're doing any of this work with your birds, you need to be using high value treats. If you're trying to ask them to come out for vegetables, they're probably going to be less likely to want to do that as if you were asking them to come out for their favourite treat, which could be all different kinds of things, from millet, sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, nuts, even fruit as well for some birds. So make sure you're finding out what your bird's #1 favourite treat is and then using that for this kind of work that you really want to put lots of value into. Now, again, David, the parrot teacher, has another amazing video all about treat hierarchy tests and how to find out what your bird's favourite treat is. So do make sure you give that a watch. There'll be a card at the top and a link in the description. Make sure that when you are doing this work with your birds, that you are keeping your hand nice and steady. If you're kind of a bit, I don't know, limp-handed and you're kind of moving your hand all over the place, again, that makes it look like it's an unstable perch and your bird is less likely to want to go onto it. So if you keep your hand nice and steady, we usually use a flat hand like this. Some people use 1 finger, some people use 2 fingers, whichever one you want to do, keep it consistent and keep it nice and steady, because then your bird is more likely to want to come onto you if it looks like a stable perch. And the key with this as well is to make sure your bird is coming to you. Don't chase your bird around the cage with your hand in the hopes they may step up, because they're less likely to. It's going to be very scary. They don't want to be chased with your big scary hand. They don't know if they're going to get grabbed. So make sure that you are not coming to them. have them come to you. And again, it's about encouraging them, keeping nice and calm, keep your energy low as well, because that's going to be a bit too exciting otherwise if you're making lots of noise and lots of movements. Keep it nice and calm, nice and still. You can whisper to them or chat to them softly, and that's going to make it more likely for them to want to come out. But the real takeaway from this video is to never force your bird out of the cage. It's a very scary experience, and it is a common bird owner mistake. And if you'd like to see other common bird owner mistakes that a lot of people have made, then do check out that video, 15 common bird owner mistakes that I have on my channel. There's going to be a link on the end screen as well for you to check that one out, because it's very interesting. We want to avoid making mistakes with our birds because we want them to be happy and healthy. So that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed learning how to get your bird out of the cage. If you have any questions about this, then do leave me a comment, as I would love to speak to you. But from me, Chip and Fish and the noisy conures, thank you so much for watching. Take care and see you later.